doesn't know how to turn around. She's never properly been taught to turn around. She's been just sort of, none of the parts are right. That's what I was trying to say even working on MJ's horse. Somebody slapped to make it look like a turnaround, but it's never, the parts haven't been trained. She doesn't know where to be. She has really no functional concept of what a turnaround is. She feels like a noodle. And it's not her fault. She just doesn't know. None of her parts have been trained how to be self-sustaining and really turn. Not one step feels the same as the last. And if you're on a horse that's properly been taught to turn, every step feels exactly the same. That's why they can turn without help. So I'm just going to play with her and just try to show her a little bit of consistency and to keep her spine. She doesn't know how to keep her spine in the same frame. So I'm just going to dink around. I'm not even going to let her turn yet until I get her kind of understanding how to drive forward off my outside spur. Whoop, forward. There's so many steps you got to do before you start teaching these guys to turn, because otherwise it doesn't last, and a non-pro sure can't turn it. Even if you can fake your way through it and make it look like, oh, look, I can turn this thing. If a non-pro can't turn it, if it's not broke enough that the horse can really legitimately turn, it won't last. And the horse will, over time, even if it can turn a little bit in the beginning, it falls apart. It's like building a house with no foundation. It does not work. So she doesn't even have really a basic concept of carrying her spine on a small walking circle upright. And she's kind of a soft-bodied horse too, which is nice. But it makes her kind of less stable if she doesn't have a solid frame here to know how to add a maneuver on top of. I'm going to take her away from this for a second. Push her forward. Take her away. Because I'm trying to show the shoulder where I want it to be. In the beginning phases, when a horse is learning how to turn around, there's actually very few steps of the actual turnaround happen, like in a row, because they don't do that many right. They might do one or two right, and then you take them away because the third one was wrong, and you say, no, that shoulder has to stand up. If you just keep making them turn step after step after step, you're just teaching them how to turn poorly, because they're never, unless it's just one of those horses that naturally just has such a cadence step. I've only had one in 15 years that naturally could just like take 10 steps in a row as a baby. They don't have the stability to do it right. So you show them, let's see here. And then push out, say that wasn't quite the right way to do that last one, move it over. And you program the front end how to take the steps correctly, self-sufficiently, with your drive has to come from the back end. And if all those parts aren't working together, you don't have a turnaround. So I'm going to get my forward, my masker right here. And then I'm going to whoop, push her out. And I want her to let me just push her away. When the turnaround is being trained on, there's just a kind of a lot of, to the casual observer, turn a little mill around. But the milling around is where you're setting the parts up and saying, this is where I need you to stand. I need your spine in line. Now I'm kind of going to push her up off my outside leg, not let her turn. Making her kind of yield across, leading with the hip a little bit. Then I'm going to take the shoulder away, and this creates strength in her body. That's going to complement the turnaround. I'm going to push her up again. Take the shoulder away. First step was way too much rush, way too much stuck back. Too heavy, too much drop.
Some people's theory of just kick them through and let them figure out their own.
They never figure it out.
Yeah.
They figure out how to turn fast, poorly.
And that's like little Carly's horse.
Yes, that horse used to be able to turn well. That mare's just got a big type of turnaround. She's a real stiff-bodied horse, and they let her suck back in the turn, and it all goes to crap. And then we go forward. This mare needs lots of forward put on her, because right now she doesn't know how to round the spine. Because when they turn correctly, the front legs need to stay right here. So because she's not rounding and lifting up underneath me, she sits backwards. That's where the suck back comes from. So when I drive her forward, I make her round this way so she learns to pick up. Because otherwise the front feet get out in front of them and they can't turn around. And then she's a low-headed type of a horse, so the front feet get out in front of her and then everything starts falling down. And you get that downhill looking turnaround.
And then they fall totally forward out of their spins.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They can't physically do it. I'm going to play with the other side a little bit. See what we've got there.
No problem. It's okay, tell me.
Now, if they don't make the first 2 steps correctly, they're not all of a sudden going to get it. Move that through, push her forward correctly. That's where they need to be on the turnaround in the early stages. It's just a step or 2, fix the spine. Step or 2, fix the spine. Fix the spine. And this little command that I'm teaching her right here, to round and lift later on down the road in a bridle horse, if I'm spinning, because everything's just done, let's say I'm spinning, and usually big stoppers have a tendency to suck back because they use their hocks and they roll underneath themselves. So as a horse would start to roll backwards, I just give just a soft little hug while I'm spinning or showing her whatever, a little soft hug right here, and the horse goes like this, and it rolls again, and he rounds and can stay good. So that little maneuver that she's learning right there, that collection and the turn, stand yourself up, create a little forward motion, I mean, it's your lifeline in your turnaround. It just sustains your frame throughout. Otherwise, they get spinning, lose the back end, body flattens out. First, maybe 1 or 2 turns is good, and then they just get ugly from there. Drive, go forward. This is basically the same type of stuff I was doing with MJ's horse. Because that was another horse that was kind of taught to